How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's NFL Showdown Preview Show. I'm your host, TK Nation 47, bringing you guys the Sunday Night Football edition of um, DraftKings Showdown slates. I have the Kansas City Chiefs facing off versus the Las Vegas Raiders. We have a 52.5 point total. The Raiders are a slight underdog at home. 2.5 is the spread. I really like the Raiders in this spot. Last year, these games were really high-scoring matchups. I believe Kansas City won one of them, 40-32. Lost the other, or I believe won both, 42-32, 40-32, 35-31. So a lot of points being scored in this game. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring affair too. Indoors in Las Vegas at night, it should be crazy. So yeah, let's go. Chiefs 5-4 on the year have been disappointing of late. The defense has been really bad, but that doesn't take away the fact that the ceiling to this offense can be just untapped at any point in time. Tyreek Hill disappointed last week. Mahomes has disappointed in three straight, and Kelsey hasn't seemingly been the same Travis Kelsey as he normally is year in, year out. Las Vegas, they're 5-3, still going on with the John Gruden dismissed and the Henry Ruggs situation, which has been an incredible story on both fronts. Just really not something you would see during the season for both sides, and I hope all that we could just get through and just get to football. That's why we're here. We're trying to make money for Showdown. So yeah, let's go. I'm going to start off with the captain spot. I really like Darren Waller here. The Kansas City Chiefs have given up a league high 617 yards against the tight end, for the tight end position, and Darren Waller looks to be coming back stronger from his early season injuries. Last week he was 7 catches for 92 yards. We've seen him on these showdown slates just garner a shoot ton of targets. I mean, he had almost 19 targets week 1 against Baltimore in primetime spot. I really love him here against Kansas City. So he is going to be my favorite captain spot. I think paying down a little bit from Mahomes and Hill and Kelsey or even Carr. I think that gives you the salary that you need to fit some of them in the flex. And I think Waller has just as much upside in the spot as those guys. So I like him. Second favorite captain pick would probably be Tyreek Hill. I think it's just because when he goes off, his ceiling is exceptional. And he's only 16.5 or 16.5 in salary for the captain. That's not too bad. 11K flex. I think it's just more beneficial to play him rather than Mahomes or Kelsey. I know Mahomes can go anywhere between 25 to 35, but if he's going for 25 to 35, you know Hill is going to be leading that charge. And having him as your captain over Mahomes gives you the salary you need to fit maybe someone like Waller in the flex on the bring back to a big high-scoring game. So I really like Tyreek Hill and Darren Waller as your captains today. I think you can go get away with doing Derek Carr, but like I said, I'm all for Hill and Waller. Now the Raiders have given up 6th most points to the tight end position. So this is a good spot for Travis Kelsey. He just hasn't looked like the same player. It doesn't look like he's getting, free separation wise from other, man-to-man coverage. But, if they're spotted in zone for any reason, I think Kelsey, that's when he does his damage. So yeah, he scored last week. He can certainly score this week, but I think Hill has the higher upside. And if I'm going to play a tight end, I'm going to play Waller. All right, so yeah, Mahomes, I think he's definitely strong for the flex position. He is looking for a bounce back week. He has been turning the ball over like crazy. 10, 5, or 10, 15, and 9 points in the last 3 games. Definitely not the same Patrick Mahomes, and it doesn't look like there's an MVP season coming out of this year for the Kansas City Chiefs. And if they lose this game, you really have to wonder, is the playoffs going to be something they're trying to do for the wild card? I mean, it's just, I know there's a lot of football. It's only week 10. We have the extra game this year, but man, you just didn't see this coming to start the year. Already mentioned how much I really love Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. Derek Carr. I really like pairing him with Waller if I'm using him as the captain. So 15-9 as the captain, but 10-6 for Derek Carr. Not too bad. You're getting a lot of discount from Mahomes. I think you could have similar outputs in a shootout kind of game. And if you think the Raiders win, play Derek Carr. If you think the Chiefs are going to win, play Patrick Mahomes, because whoever does is probably going to have the more fantasy points. I definitely think you could play both to get all of the fantasy points possible. But it's certainly a team like the Raiders have someone like Josh Jacobs at 8,800. Someone that could steal goal line carries. He does get about 15 carries a game, 3 to 4 catches a game. So he's rounding out around 15 points per week. I think that's really solid. I think him and Renfro are really safe bets here as like discounted flex options. Renfro 8,400. He scored last week, 7 catches, 49 yards. They run a lot of crossing routes at the goal line. I think that leaves Renfro open for a projection in between 10 to 20 points for Renfro. Darrell Williams is going to dominate snaps again for the Chiefs at the running back position. 10 points, 17 points, and 23 in his last 3 without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think Williams is a strong play, but I think I'm going to try to take a shot at Gore down there at 1K. He did have 11 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown versus the Giants. Williams created a lot of penalties last week. He had a lot of bad pass block situations given up where he's not helping out Mahomes. I think that could leave Gore open for the possibility of getting some work in on third downs. And I'm going to take a shot there at 1K with him. Williams, yes, definitely a guy that can score touchdowns, get catches out of the backfield. He's probably a safe bet between 10 to 12 points. Or you could really bottom out and only get you 5. So there's a lower floor in that position than there is Jacobs and Renfro. Hardman is the ultimate boomer bust GPP at 6,400. I think he's too expensive. Djax would be the equivalent to that on the Raiders side at 4,200. A strong GPP flyer coming in on his new team. He's probably going to bump out Zay Jones for the wide receiver position. But not much known going on for Djax in this spot. But, it's going to be a lot of passing. There's going to be a lot of points. And if he's going to be on the field, he has the opportunity to score big, long touchdowns. And that's why I think he makes for a good GPP flyer. All right, the kickers, Harrison Butker, 4K. I think he's projecting around 6 to 12 points. And, I mean, that's what you want for a value play. But I think Butker in Kansas City, in what they may struggle in the red zone, it could leave him open to a high point total day. I've just been in this position in shootouts before where my kickers are getting outscored with value plays that are finding their way to touchdowns in multiple catches or rushing upside. So I like kickers in shootouts. Absolutely, they have a floor, but the ceiling kind of takes away their GPP upside, I would say. Carlson, probably a safer bet than Butker. As we talked about the Chiefs' defense being really poor, Carlson does take a lot more kicks. 8 to 15 points would be my projection for Carlson today. Next up is the defenses. 3,400 for the Raiders defense. Now, Patrick Mahomes has been turning the ball over quite a bit, and that offensive line is still not 100% figured out, and the Raiders love to pass rush. Crosby and Nassib on the outsides, they get quite a few sacks. I could see a decent 5 to 10 points today from the Raiders defense. A good solid 6-point floor is probably what we're looking at. And for a little bit of salary relief from the kickers, I think you can make up with Raiders defense, who, at any point can score a touchdown, and that's much more of a ceiling that you'll get from a kicker. Chiefs defense, I'm not in on. I can only see about a 3 to 5 point floor, or 3 to 5 point floor, maybe like a 6 to 10 ceiling. I don't think they get to the ceiling today with the way that the Raiders are probably going to be pumped up at home. So no thanks to me for the Chiefs defense. All right, some of my favorite value plays. I had already mentioned Gore. I don't mind Kenyon Drake at 4,400, 16, 16, and 21 in his last 3. He caught 6 catches for 70 yards. in his last time out. Kenyon Drake is getting a lot more involved in this offense with John Gruden being out as the offensive guy there for the Raiders. So I really like Kenyon Drake in this spot. Josh Jacobs, yes, he's going to get his catches and he's going to get his carries, but I think now Drake has been a lot more involved with some of the lack of wide receivers that they have on this team. So I think they're incorporating him more out of the backfield and as a pass catcher, and I think that makes him a very good play at 4,400, possibly the best value play on the slate. Next up is Byron Pringle at 3K. This is kind of a GPP play, but he does play a lot of snaps for a guy that's only 3K. 5 catches for 73 yards versus Tennessee. He had 2 catches for 63 and a touchdown versus Baltimore. A guy that can score, a guy that runs a lot of deep routes. I know we like Hardman for that, but if I'm going to be playing Hardman and Pringle, who basically are in the same rotation, who are essentially the same wide receiver, I'm going to save myself some money in the 3K and just try to get Pringle to be the one that comes away out on top as the most points scored between the two. And then I can get, maybe a better captain, or I can get, off one of the kickers and onto someone like, Jacobs or Renfro, or even Darrell Williams if I want to go that route in that lower flex B tier, you would say. So that will wrap things up, guys, for the Kansas City and Raiders breakdown for Sunday Night Football. You can follow me on Twitter at TKNation47. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below with any questions that you may have. And good luck today in your contest, and enjoy the games.